Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, in this video, we are going to cover top 50 important MCQs from the Negotiable Instruments Act and Payment Settlement Systems Act, especially for the IBPS Law Officer exam. So let's start the video. Which section of the Negotiable Instruments Act defines a promissory note? Section 4. An essential characteristic of a promissory note is that it must contain an unconditional undertaking to pay. How many parties are primarily involved in a standard bill of exchange? 3 parties. Under Section 6 of the Negotiable Instruments Act, a check is always drawn upon a specified banker. A person who becomes the possessor of a negotiable instrument for consideration before maturity is called holder in due course. What does the term payment in due course mean under the Negotiable Instruments Act? Payment in good faith without negligence. A negotiable instrument made payable to a specific person or to their order is called an order instrument. The days of grace allowed for calculating the maturity of a promissory note or bill of exchange are 3 days. When the endorser of an instrument simply signs their name without specifying an endorsee, it is called endorsement in blank. If an instrument is incomplete and handed over to another person to fill up, it is known as an inchoate stamped instrument. Two parallel transverse lines across the face of a check denotes which type of crossing? General crossing. A check bearing the words not negotiable across its face implies that the transferee cannot get a better title than the transferor. Which section grants statutory protection to a paying banker against false endorsements on an order check? Section 85. A check presented for payment after 6 months from the date of issue is legally termed as a stale check. Section 138 of the Negotiable Instruments Act deals exclusively with the dishonour of cheques due to insufficiency of funds in the account. To attract the provisions of Section 138, the cheque must be presented to the bank within a period of 3 months from the date it is drawn. Upon receiving information of dishonour from the bank, the payee must issue a legal notice to the drawer within 30 days. After receiving the legal notice under Section 138, how much time is granted to the drawer to make the payment? 15 days. If the drawer fails to pay within the notice period, the payee must file a complaint in court within 1 month. What is the maximum term of imprisonment prescribed for an offence under Section 138? 2 years. What is the maximum monetary fine that a court can impose under Section 138? Twice the amount of the cheque. An offence under Section 138 is tried by a court not inferior to that of a metropolitan magistrate or judicial magistrate first class. As per Section 142(2), a complaint under Section 138 can be filed in the court having jurisdiction over the branch of the bank where the payee maintains their account. Section 143 empowers the magistrate to try offences under Section 138 by utilizing which legal procedure? Summary trial. Under Section 143A, the court can direct the drawer to pay interim compensation to the complainant not exceeding 20% of the cheque amount. If the drawer is acquitted, what is the obligation of the complainant regarding the interim compensation? Repay it with bank interest within 60 days. Under Section 148, when a drawer files an appeal against conviction, the appellate court may order a deposit of a minimum of 20% of the fine or compensation. Section 139 provides a legal presumption in favor of the holder. What is presumed? The cheque was received for the discharge of a debt or liability. Which section states that a corporate entity's directors and persons in charge can be held liable for cheque bounce? Section 141. A cheque in the electronic form contains the exact mirror image of a paper cheque and is signed using a digital signature or secure system. Material alteration of a negotiable instrument results in rendering it void against anyone who did not consent to the alteration. The Payment and Settlement Systems Act 2007 was enacted to provide for the regulation of Payment systems in India. Which regulatory body acts as the designated authority for the regulation of payment systems under the PSS Act? Reserve Bank of India. No person can commence or operate a payment system without obtaining authorization from the Reserve Bank of India. A person who operates an authorized payment system is defined under the PSS Act as a system provider. A bank or an institution participating in a payment system is termed as a system participant. The Reserve Bank of India attempts to dispose of an application for authorization of a payment system within a period of 6 months. If a system provider contravenes the provisions of the PSS Act, the Reserve Bank of India can revoke the authorization after giving written notice of not less than 30 days. An aggrieved system provider whose authorization is refused or revoked can appeal to the central government. Under the PSS Act, the determination of the net payment obligations between system participants is referred to as netting. The concept of settlement finality ensures that settlement is final, irrevocable, and binding. Section 25 of the PSS Act criminalizes the dishonor of electronic funds transfer due to insufficient funds in the account. What is the penalty for dishonor of an electronic funds transfer under Section 25 of the PSS Act? Imprisonment up to 2 years or fine up to twice the amount or both. To prosecute under Section 25 of the PSS Act, the payee must make a demand for the payment within how many days of receiving information of dishonor? 30 days. If the Reserve Bank of India suspects a payment system is operating contrary to public interest, it is empowered to enter and inspect premises under Section 16. Operating a payment system without authorization under the PSS Act attracts imprisonment which may extend to 6 months. Under Section 26 of the PSS Act, providing false information in an application is punishable with imprisonment up to 3 years. If an offense under the PSS Act is committed by a company who is held liable, every person in charge of the conduct of the business. Which specific body assists the Reserve Bank of India in exercising its powers under the Payment and Settlement Systems Act? Board for Regulation and Supervision of Payment and Settlement Systems. A systemic risk under the PSS Act relates to the risk that the failure of one participant leads to the failure of others. That's all for today. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. See you in the next one.